Hi, welcome to the channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Sean Harvey, and this channel is all about helping loving parents find ways to protect their child in a world that can present negative influences to them. Okay, now you know, as a loving parent that wants to protect your child, when you send your child to school, they're being exposed to a lot of different personalities, right? And you never know what your child is going to come across. Okay, most people say, "Well, I'm sending my child to school to learn about math and English," and yeah, and they probably will learn that, but they're also going to learn how other children behave, and they're going to learn other people's opinion, and those opinions you may not agree with. Okay, now one of the things that your child can be exposed to is bullying. And I've come across parents that say that, my child has never been bullied, or they have never been or they have never experienced bullying. But I would say that only 10%, right? I probably wouldn't go as high as that, but maybe 5% of the population, right, would probably have never bullied anyone or has experienced bullying, right? The majority of the people have experienced bullying, because bullying comes in different ways. You can bully people in such a variety of ways that some people, if you don't think you're being bullied, it's either you are unaware that it's bullying, you may be ignorant to bullying, or you're in denial that you're being bullied, right? But bullying exists, okay? And one of the reasons why bullying exists is because negativity exists in the world, cruelty exists in the world. So that's why bullying exists in the world. So today we're going to be talking about a way that someone can bully your child, and as a loving parent, you want to protect your child from someone who may be bullying your child. Okay, and so one way that someone can bully your child is through cyberbullying. Okay, now cyberbullying is going to keep growing because there are more messaging apps that can come online. More and more kids are getting phones and Samsungs and iPhones and so forth. So now a child or person can bully your child from a phone. Okay. Now, a person can set up a fake account or an alias account where they can be sending out false rumors, false information that can create problems for your child. So it's so important that you monitor your child's behavior and your child's moods when they are online. Okay, and if you can, try to keep your children offline, not online. Keep them offline. Okay, but you know how children are. You remember how we were when we were kids, that we were very curious, right? And we wanted to find out more information. Now, again, there are young parents that or young mom that's probably looking at this video or this channel, and you're still trying to figure out your life. You're still trying to figure out how you can be more responsible. So the key to protecting our children is to get them to be responsible. You have to understand, parents, that the majority of children are irresponsible. Very few children are responsible. Okay, here's why: because they don't know what they need to be responsible for. Okay, and I have never learned anything that I wasn't taught. And I'll say that one more time. I never learned anything that I wasn't taught. So you cannot tell or shout at a child and say, "Well, you should know, you should be responsible." I'm not going to be responsible if you never told me that that's how I should respond. Okay? So remember, cyberbullying is when someone can send a message to your child, right? That can be verbal abuse. They could be name calling, teasing your child, saying offensive words, swearing, doing all kinds of explicit language. All kinds of stuff can be sent. Another thing that can be sent to your child through the internet is explicit photos that they didn't request. That goes on a lot. I remember I was doing a summer camp, and I had a little small camper who was showing other campers, I think it was between the ages, I think they were like maybe between the ages of 5 and 8, right? 5 and 8 year olds were watching these explicit photos, all right? And one of the children, which was smart, they came to me and said, that this is what this particular child is showing at all the students. So I had to pull the child aside and say, hey, is your mom aware that you have these pictures, right? And he was trying to be kind of like a wisecracker by saying, I think my mama knows. And I said, I doubt you. Just said, do you want me to call your mom? No, you need to get this erased. So I spoke to his mom about it, right? Now I know it's sort of embarrassing for the mom, but it's so important, parents, that you are responsible. Because if you're not, you have to understand that your children will be irresponsible. Now, before we go any further, what does it mean to be irresponsible? Well, irresponsible means that I don't care, right? I do whatever I want. Okay, I don't care what I do. I do whatever I want without regard. Remember this, without regard of what can happen afterwards. So most children are irresponsible. So you understand the word is responsible, how they're responding. So most children don't know how to respond. Okay, so that's why it's so important that we teach them to be responsible at how they respond. The reason why the bullying is the way it is because children are not responding properly to each other. They lack social skills. Okay, so now they're spending so much time behind an iPad or iPhone or a notebook or Samsung um, phones or whatever. They are not knowing how to socialize. They don't know how to respond to each other. So most times they're responding in a negative way, okay? Because that's what they're used to. They haven't learned to respect each other. The one thing that will cause bullying to go away is when we learn to respect each other. We learn to be kind to each other. We learn how to respond to each other in a kind way, in a loving way. We respond to each other with empathy, okay? But that's not what's going on. So the key to parenting is to teach your children to be responsible. Give them some responsibility. So you can put them in a program that allows them, the teachers find these programs that would teach your child how to be responsible, because it would save their life. Okay? The children who have gotten themselves into a lot of trouble, or their lives have been destroyed, or they're no longer alive, is because they were irresponsible. Okay? So the key is to teach our children to be responsible. So one thing to do is to keep them offline, right? And then also monitor what your children are doing online, right? Also, your child probably won't tell you that they're being bullied if it is happening. So you're gonna have to watch their moods, watch how they act before they go online. See if their personality changes, or you can see how their personality is after they've been online. If they're quiet, if they go to a room and they close the door, and then you say, well, what happened? Obviously something's going on online, right? Maybe there's some rumors that are going around about them, or there's some pictures that are circulating online about your child. Who knows, right? But the key is that you want to get that solved, because the key is to protect your children. A loving parent will protect their child, because remember, if you don't protect the child, they're going to get poor mental health, and that leads to anxiety, depression, low self-esteem, low confidence, right? And extreme cases, it can lead to suicide. Okay, all of this here is destruction. Okay, so remember, this channel is all about helping loving parents find clever ways and responsible ways of how we can protect our children. Okay, now if you got anything out of this message, remember to like, subscribe, and remember to share this with um, your friends and family and colleagues, so we can spread this, so we can stop bullying and teach our children to be more responsible, to be kind to each other, right? Have some empathy, and have some love in the world, right? And also, if you want to leave some messages about what you want me to talk about, that can help you protect your child. And I will see you in the next video.